Meanwhile, in Tupac news,
The shooting of Tupac Shakur once again underscores the violence that has surrounded this man since he shot the superstar.
Four people pulled up, opened fire. Shakur and Knight.
Tupac Shakur was shot several times in the chest. Shakur
Was pronounced dead.
MAKAVELI in this Illuminati, all through your body. The blows like a 12-gauge shot. Feel me?
I was scared of LA to where I didn't know nothing about the gang thing. Shit, I done been out here long enough, they can smoke me. I really don't care, it's all good.
First of all, I didn't kill Shakur.
He was in the white Cadillac that night in Las Vegas. Then he got out and fired the shots.
Baby Lane that killed Tupac, he got some.
Do you know anyone who owns a white Cadillac? No.
Anderson, an alleged Los Angeles gang member,
quickly became linked to the Tupac case. Orlando Anderson was, in fact, the man who tried to grab Tupac's necklace the night he was murdered, placing him squarely in the middle of the controversy.
denied any involvement in the murder and in depositions claimed he was not at the scene.
I'm like a victim.
Only Gab can do it like this. Yo, YouTube, what up? It's your homie Gab, I'm in the building. And this is MAKAVELI Media. This video right here about Baby Lane, Orlando Anderson, is also the conclusion to an interview I conducted with former LAPD detective Greg KADING. Now, Greg KADING is famous for his murder rap book and documentary that many Tupac / Biggie Smalls reenactments or television shows or, biopics gathered the information from. With that being said, and his findings, in Greg KADING's opinion, Orlando Anderson was yes the trigger man, subsequently Tupac's murderer. Now, Orlando is a very mysterious individual. The people that know Orlando Anderson, those that were close to him, all say that Orlando Anderson was a very serious guy. But they also say that Orlando Anderson did in fact kill Tupac Shakur. Now it's important to remember that because this is all hearsay. But yes, Greg KADING did conduct, an investigation on Tupac's homicide. One of the most intriguing things, that's been speculated about Orlando is that they say Orlando was bragging about killing Tupac to family members. Matter of fact, people say they heard Orlando saying he killed Tupac at a cookout. People from the South Side, from the same hood, referred to Orlando as the guy that killed Tupac. It's very odd. It's an odd thing that we still have some people that find it hard to believe that that's, in fact, a possibility. And, I'm not saying it's fact, but it's very likely that could have happened. I mean, Tupac did have a fight with Orlando that night. And the whole situation is weird. Now, why did the fight occur? That's a whole nother subject that's up for debate. I find it strange that Orlando was just sitting there inside the lobby I also find it strange that, something was said to Tupac that made Tupac react in the manner he did. It's also strange that Keefe D brought up the involvement of Sean P. Diddy Combs. You have Zip, who was present in Vegas that night. You also have, it was a Mike Tyson boxing match. At the time, Mike Tyson was being managed by Jimmy Henchman. It's a lot of dots to connect. But, one thing for sure, and two things for certain, that by all accounts, Orlando Anderson wasn't no chump. And, for him to react the way they claim he reacted is common knowledge, in certain parts of L.A. They say they been knew that Orlando killed Pac. There was a war that happened in California right after the Las Vegas shooting. And I believe subsequently that may be in fact why Orlando's life was taken. There's no proof to that. It's a whole nother storyline, that was perpetrated after that, but who knows? Now, some people believe that Orlando Anderson was falsely accused. Some people believe that Orlando Anderson was a patsy, was somebody that was placed there, somebody that, was there to make things look good, the cover up. Very possible. Very possible. I'm not here to dispel your beliefs or to endorse an agenda or narrative. But in life, sometimes the simplest explanation is the truest explanation. And there's no other way around it. Guys die every day in this country after fist fights. Or, smaller things smaller than that. Dudes get shot for stepping on people's tennis shoes, for looking at people the wrong way. Needless to say, it was a dangerous game being played between Death Row and Bad Boy Records. And ultimately, two important, two powerful, and two great individuals lost their lives. And in this case, we got Orlando Anderson's uncle, Keefe D, saying, yes, my nephew, Orlando Anderson, did kill Tupac Shakur. I know why, I know how, and I know when it happened. You know why? Because I was there. I was with him. I was riding in the car with him. That's some powerful stuff, y'all. Because you got somebody saying that, self-admission, and still no justice for Tupac. Well, maybe we did get justice for Tupac after all. Anyway, here's the conclusion to my interview with Greg KADING.
We hear a lot of speculation on what kind of guy Orlando Anderson was. Some people say Orlando was nothing to play with. Did you have a history? Did you have prior knowledge who Orlando Anderson was? And in your opinion, what kind of person was Orlando?
Well, I didn't know Orlando Anderson prior to being involved in this investigation. He was a Compton gangster. He wasn't within the jurisdiction of where I worked gangs. But of course, his name was if you could pull up any newspaper article from back in the day, you would know who he is. But I didn't have any personal, history or background or knowledge of him until I got involved in the case. But once getting involved in the case, then it became very apparent who Orlando Anderson was. An extremely dangerous individual that would pull a gun and shoot you without a moment's notice. What was especially dangerous about him is that you do not perceive him for who he actually is. He dressed like a preppy guy. There was no, you would never look at him standing across the lobby and go, wow, that looks like a hardcore gangster. You'd think, well, it's like a guy that probably attends college or, has his shit together. But that's not the case. He's a guy that was down for his hood, he's down for his crew, he's down for his family, and if that meant pulling a gun and shooting somebody to defend those things, of course he's going to do it, including his own reputation.
I hear stories that it was no way out for Tupac that night. You hear stories that it was another car maybe involved, or they was going to try to shoot Tupac at 662. Was there any truth to like another vehicle being involved, trying to wait on Tupac? You ever heard that?
No. Well, there was originally, there were two cars that were traveling together with the intent of the initial retaliation, which was to go over to Club 662. But then some of the people in the van decided that they weren't having anything to do with it, and that's why TPD got out of the van and got into the white Cadillac with Orlando and the other two passengers, and they went out on their own in order to locate Suge Knight and Tupac Shakur, and of course run into them just down the street. So just one car, and happenstance would have it that they pull up alongside, and there's Tupac sitting on the wrong side of the car, and Orlando Anderson lets him have it.
I'm having visions of leaving here in a hearse car. Can you feel me?